What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, so we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. I am joined as always by my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Connor. It's raining. I got caught in the rain on the way home.
It's a lovely July day here now.
Classic Irish July weather, folks.
We're getting close to Christmas.
Oh, we're cooked, aren't we?
This is like November of the summer.
Yeah, we just get winter, but with different humidities now.
Yeah. So, Shaun, I know you're very excited because, look, hopefully it's a rainy day, maybe 2 weeks from now, because Saturday the 20th, we're having a little Patreon hangout with all the listeners.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, hopefully the weather is shit for us to hang out, guys.
I have to really work around the house.
Hopefully you're forced inside and just...
I hope there's a monsoon where you live, and then you gotta talk to us.
Have you seen the tornado that's hit in Jamaica?
No.
There's a lot of people in like a sandals resort, and they're all just on full lockdown. They can't do anything. It's really... I'm following it on TikTok. It's breathtaking. It
seems like something that's a bit stressful that I don't want to know about.
Yeah, no, but people's lives are being ruined, yeah.
Comedy. This is where comedy's brought.
But on the 20th, we'll...
So enough about natural disasters. Do you want to hang out with us on a Google Meet?
Well, you can. It's on the 20th at 1:30 Irish time. And if you're a member of the Patreon, you get automatically invited. If you're not a member of the Patreon, first of all, go do that. It's great value and you get a lot of extra content. But also, you can just message us on any of the socials and we will add you to the list. Yeah.
And as I said, it's just going to be 2 hours just chatting. You can put your camera
2 hours?
Take your camera off. Yeah, well, you can do like 10 minutes if you want. But like...
Tight five?
Tight five.
Give you a loose 7.
I think it would be amazing if you come in and do like a full stand-up routine and just never break.
I've got my like background changed to a brick wall. There's a spotlight on me.
And then the minute you finish, you go, "Thank you very much. You've all been an absolute great crowd." Just leave.
Tip your waitresses.
So yeah, look, that's we wanted to touch on that just to let people know. So that is the 20th of this month. If you want to know more about it, just send on over to the Patreon. I'm sure there'll be a post up there soon. And secondly, if you want to give this episode a like, a follow, a share, maybe the show itself 5 stars. That would be
a lot of 5 stars
amazing.
Up there at the minute. Join the club, guys.
Just there's lots of the 5 stars are going up, and it's absolutely great to see. So if you haven't already, we would really, really appreciate. You'd be absolute legend. But Shaun, it's time for Hero Zero, and I normally do DC characters. You normally do Marvel characters. Yeah. Last week you did your report, which means this week I get to carry on my weird trend of 90s characters that, like, I'm just bringing back up that nobody's heard of for 25 years.
I like that. This is like a little mini-series that you have going on where usually it's a character with a really cool concept and it's like late 80s, early 90s, and then they really lose track of it like a few years in.
This one is... I'm not going to say that it came up with this. This is more so a golden age hero from the 40s that they bring back as his son now has his powers.
Great.
And carries on the legacy. But it's the 90s, so you got to believe it's edgy and it's also aggressive and you're not my real dad.
Probably wears a hoodie at some point, I want to say.
He wears a cool jacket. It's like the best jacket you've ever seen.
High collar?
Is there any other colour?
Not in my wardrobe, let me tell you.
Not in my wardrobe. So I am going to be doing this week a character called The Ray, Shaun, created by Jack C. Harris and Joe Quesada. Now Joe Quesada, funny enough, went on to be future Marvel editor-in-chief.
So he stuck around.
Pretty big deal, but he came up with The Ray in 1992 along with Jack C. Harris. And look, he was kind of part of an influx of all the new characters, and they were trying to like really get brand new characters into all these books early in the 90s. We talked about Anarchy as well a few weeks ago. And sales in comic books were doing okay at this point because Death of Superman was also a few years after this. So they weren't falling off completely at this point.
Yeah, and it hadn't yet got to the point of every issue needs to be world shocking, like earth-shattering updates to the status quo.
And look, as I said, the beats of his origin story are familiar territory. New characters based on classic Golden Age heroes, infusing them with like a sense of purpose and destiny. You know, that kind of thing. It basically became the norm in the next few years as well. They brought back the Justice Society and like loads of other classic characters from the 40s that they were like, now's the time, the 90s. This is when we bring them all back.
It's never going to get bad, let me tell you.
Y2K is going to kill us anyway. Bring him back now.
God, I wish.
You were like 4.
Don't give out my real age.
No, I meant now. Now you are 4.
Mentally, yes.
Yeah, mentally, yes. But the Ray told that story in a much more 90s way. It was more angsty edginess. Still, I thought I read a few issues. They were a good read, though, to be fair. And he later became a member of several teams. But there's a really funny trend in that whenever he joins a team, someone immediately has a really harrowing death and the team disbands. And I genuinely, it happened like 4 times. And twice is weird, but 4 times I've started to think he's murdering people.
At a certain point, it's your fault on that team.
At a certain point, it's definitely your fault. So Ray is the character, and he had spent his childhood kept indoors in darkness, told he would die.
Jesus.
Told he would die if he was exposed to light. Privately tutored in his window-darkened home, Ray's most earnest wish was just for normalcy. So he's trapped inside. They're like, you're not allowed ever see outside.
Like Morbius.
Like...
From the movie
I'm never
Morbius.
ever going to say the simile like Morbius.
Fair enough, but look, that's what I need in my head to get in on this.
Unless I'm talking about fucking dickheads, right? Like the actor who plays Morbius.
Jared Leto, of course.
Jared Leto. The media called him Night Boy in his town as well. His only friend during his formative years was his neighbour Jennifer Jordan. At 18, by his supposed father's deathbed, Ray learned his life was a complete lie.
Holy shit.
Previous 18 years, it was just all kind of made up. He was not allergic to light, nor did he have to live in darkness. Most disturbing of all, he discovered his father, or who he thought was his father, was not his real father, and his father instead was a 40s wartime superhero, the Golden Age Ray, that nobody had ever explained to him.
Right. And is it the whole darkness thing, does his powers come from sun rays or something like that?
You're goddamn right, they come from sun rays, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
Because, I mean, the thing is that, like, this is a character, and I don't really know how else to describe it. He's broken. Like, he is just fundamentally broken in terms of powers. It doesn't make any sense.
As in he has too many? He's too strong?
Oh, yeah, he can do anything.
Interesting.
Like, they made this character, and then they did not know what to do with him.
Right.
Because the war hero version much less powerful.
Well, they didn't have imagination in the 40s.
Didn't have he was just fighting Nazis mostly in those stories.
Yeah.
He was part of the freedom fighters, and he was just called Ray, and he had the power of the sun and whatever. Not the full power of the sun, but he had like lasers even. Like, so this character's like, he's solar powered. He intakes the sun and produces light.
Like, I feel like they had, like, the general public had just learned what rays were, basically. Yeah. So they're like, let's do something with that.
People were still like trying to tan with like fucking cooking oil on their skin.
I think this is just something I learned recently. Like, wearing gloves in surgery, that's only like a 50s or 60s that was introduced. As
you know they were taking a piss beforehand.
Oh, hell yeah, they were.
Hell yeah. He'd been kept in the dark because he'd inherited his father's powers as an infant and was unable to control them. So even as a child, he's intaking rays, and he's like, and the rays are coming out of him.
I love that kind of stuff when like the kid just is like, he has too much power for his child dumb body.
Because he's only like 3 or 2. And their story is that when he was born, he actually harmed a nurse, like literally, like straight away, like his skin. Yeah, straight away. And
that's
so,
mad.
like, the man who'd raised him, who he thought was his father, was actually his uncle. And at his uncle's funeral, I'm going to say father, but it's in quotation marks, his uncle, technically.
The man who raised him, yes.
The man who raised him. Ray met his cousin, Hag Terrell, who helped him first face sunlight and his resulting powers. Hank urged Ray to become a superhero, but Ray refused. It was like, I don't want to.
Man, okay. Refuses the call to action.
It was then that his dad shows up and reappears.
Real dad.
Real dad. Now his real dad shows up and his nickname is Happy. And I think they're both called Ray, so one just got the nickname Happy just to kind of split
He's a ray of sunshine in all his friends' lives. He's a ray of sunshine. So, much like someone I know, Connor.
Not me.
No, heavens no, not you.
Heavens no. His dad, Happy, shows up and he tells Ray about his career as a superhero and about his powers. He also tells Ray that is why he kept him in the dark all his life, because of the danger of his powers. Ray has no idea what to do with all of this information, and he tries to use his powers but finds them extremely difficult to control immediately.
It is a lot to hit an 18-year-old with. It's like, hey, you have a son inside you.
Yeah.
S-U-N.
Just... and son.
And also.
And also, let me tell you. So the man Ray believed to be his father is obviously his uncle. He becomes furious at his dad. His biological dad. He becomes furious at Happy, his biological dad.
The Seven Dwarves.
Just when he thinks he knows who he is, he gets this mind-blowing news. His father is also pretty manipulative in all these. Happy is not a nice man, as far as I can tell.
He's a white man from the 40s.
He's a bit of a dickhead.
Right.
And
does he think he's great because he was like this
he thinks
hero?
He's the best fucking thing since sliced bread.
What a cunt.
he's just like, I was a big deal in the 40s, you know what I mean? I was off doing
he
things.
definitely starts it like, back when I was in the war, like
back when I was just, in the war, on the ladies, they were all over me. Am I right,
gals,
kid?
the dames.
My best dames. Then Ray gets even more angry when he finds out he has a half-brother, and the half-brother has been left in suspended animation because he also has the same powers, but they just put him in suspended animation for, I just didn't tell him any of this.
Why not just leave him with the uncle as well?
No, just because his dad's a dick.
Would you rather live a life in the dark for 18 years or be in suspended animation?
Suspended animation, surely.
Yeah, probably.
Because you don't know what's happening.
Probably feel great when you woke up as well.
Oh, when you woke up, you were the most rested you've ever been. When you wake up, it's that feeling every single time. You're like, if I just get enough sleep, tomorrow's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
But it actually happens.
Oh, if only it could ever happen.
I'll do it next week when things calm down. Things are never calming down.
I just got to get to Monday.
Just got to get through this week. And you just tell yourself that every week forever.
And then you die.
So Ray finally decides to become a hero. Kind of, I got the impression to kind of fuck with his dad, to be like, I'm going to be an even better hero than you are.
As fuck you, like...
I don't want to follow in your footsteps. I'm just going to make even better footsteps.
The future is now, old man.
The future is now, old man, is basically what he says. And he goes out and he starts fighting crime by himself. But he immediately he goes into battles with characters called Brimstone, Dr. Polaris, Neron. He faces Vandal Savage for a little bit. Ooh. Lobo's involved.
Jesus.
Lots of cool characters come and go. Yeah, Vandal Savage and him have a little story later on as well. Ray had even... but following the death of Superman, Ray was recruited into the Justice League of America for roughly a year of service. So they were desperate and they were just finding anyone.
We'll take whoever.
We need another solar-powered hero, is what they said.
Oh, you can shoot laser? Cool, perfect.
Cool, bring him in. During this time in the JLA, Ray had a brief romance with Black Canary as well. He was then asked to join the ranks of the Justice League Task Force, which was a different team led by Martian Manhunter. Their purpose was to train the next wave of Leaguers, and I love this saying, mildly successful.
Okay. So,
not entirely, but not terrible either.
But so that storyline sounds like, hey, let's just throw a bunch of heroes at the wall and see what the readers like.
You're goddamn right, that's exactly what happened.
That's why Avengers Academy was a thing.
With the task force, he shared a number of adventures, including repeated tangling with Vandal Savage. Ray eventually began to view fellow task force members Gypsy and Triumph as a family, and viewed Martian Manhunter as more of a fatherly role than his actual father.
So he has 3 dads now.
He's got 3 dads. One is a dick, one is dead, and the other one is green. Yes.
Okay. Good. I just want to keep track of this man's dads.
All 3 weak to fire. Actually, no, I think Ray is it.
Damn.
I think real dad Ray has to surely not be weak to fire.
And uncle is just a regular man, so he's definitely
well, he's dead, but yes, regular man.
But his body is weak to fire,
his body, yes. The death of a team member led to the team disbanding. So,
hell yeah, it did.
Now, at this time, he had his own monthly comic as well in DC. And this was penned by Christopher Priest and drawn mainly by Howard Porter. It ran for 28 issues between like 94 and 96. So like
2.5 years.
2.5 years they went for.
Damn. And he probably popped up in like Justice League stuff as well.
They were pushing hard. Like he was coming up in the JLA. He was coming up in Justice League. He was coming in Justice League Task Force. He had his own series. They were very much like trying to push him.
Can I look up a picture of Ray?
You can indeed. You can see the cool jacket. Wait till he sees the cool jacket.
Oh, it's a cool jacket.
It's a cool jacket.
Holy shit.
In the series, Ray, I haven't even told you his powers, by the way. I'm leaving them till the end strategically, because if you know them, then no peril will ever come in any of these stories. In this series, Ray confronts several villains and anti-heroes, and he even meets his half-brother Joshua, who gets out of suspended animation. He then faces a computer game villain known as Dart Mask, which is a pretty good one. It's a computer game villain that somehow becomes real, which is the most 1996 storyline of all time.
The coolest goddamn villain you can think of, Connor.
His relationship with his father is strained several times as he discovers the extent of Happy's manipulative streak, basically, and the well-intentioned deceptions that were basically constantly going on.
I think there's very few well-intentioned deceptions. I think most of them are fucking bad for him.
I suppose, but if he was going to blow up the planet, putting him in a dark room kind of saves everybody else. It's kind of a dick move as a dad, but good move as a hero.
Yeah, but you should be a dad first, is what I'm saying.
It's the Batman move, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a bit Batman, isn't it?
When Triumph, disregarding the orders of Martian Manhunter, refuses to help Ray deal with Death Mask, Ray turns instead to Vandal Savage for help.
And to the bad guy.
To the bad guy. Savage coaches Ray for some time. If you don't know who Vandal Savage is, he's like one of the big bad. Well, I think describing him as a big bad is kind of understating his kind of subtleties. Like, he's basically immortal. He lives forever. He kind of just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, he was near a meteor or something. He was a caveman, and now he's just hanging around. He is.
Yeah, and I suppose depending on the story, he could either be like the biggest villain like ever, or he just isn't really fucked with doing anything.
I heard a really cool thing. This isn't a Vandal Savage report, but I heard a really cool thing about Vandal Savage, that he just has a bunch of kids and he keeps taking their organs because his own keep failing, and he just has so many that he just pulls. See, from them
once again, you're not really supporting my thing of he's not that bad.
Well, look, he's an anti-hero.
I suppose, no, he can do like 95 fucked up things, but like it might come to a storyline where he's like, no, I don't really want to like join Lex Luthor and taking over the world. I don't really like Lex, so like I'm not going to help him.
Yeah, I'm just going to do my own thing. So
he does his own thing.
He's not maniacal. He's always just going to do his own thing all the time. And so he turns to Vandal Savage, and Savage actually coaches Ray for some time, utilising his little used skill with computers and giving Ray a high business position in his company as well. When Death Mask targets Ray's mother, he manages to reap this. I love this story only because reading it, I was like, this is 1996. This is what they thought video games were going to be. So there's a video game villain come to life, and how he defeats him
is he manages to reprogram and then destroy a computerized villain for good. I'm assuming with lots of taps on a keyboard and straining eyes.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to dynamically show hacking in comic book form, I would say.
Unless you say specifically, I'm in.
So, how else will he know he's in?
How else would we know? A woman claiming to be Ray's girlfriend from the future brutally attacks Savage to show Ray, who had begun to think of Savage on an almost friendly terms, that Savage stole body parts from his many descendants whenever he was critically injured, Shaun.
Hey, I knew something.
Called out my report before it happened.
Hey, look.
This prompts Ray to... You actually did the exact storyline of, like, he's like, well, he's not that bad. And then this future person comes back, his future girlfriend is like, no, he's really fucked up. Just,
he's fucked. Shaun told me he's doing all this stuff.
Yeah. This prompts Ray to sever his ties with Savage. When Ray's mother learns he is still alive, Happy led... Now, this is where Happy comes across as a dick again, because he leads... Ray's mother to believe that he died in childbirth. Genuinely.
What?
He makes the mother believe the child dies, and then he takes the child and puts him in a dark room for 18 years with his uncle.
I think the real villain here is
I was
Happy.
trying to say, he's an absolute dick, and every time he talked to me, he's like, I was a big deal. You know what I mean? I'm a real hero.
Dog of a man.
I mean, he's just an absolute dickhead. And him and his mother eventually share a happy reunion because she's like, oh, you're actually alive.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. How's it been the last 18 years?
Yeah. He's also faced with glimpses of an unpleasant possible future, which he may have averted by the series' conclusion. However, the unfortunate disbanding of the Justice League Task Force to make way for the newly formed JLA basically meant that Ray was kind of pushed to the side. So what happened was, they're part of the Justice League Task Force, they have the Justice League going on. But, late 90s, Shaun, what comes along, but Grant Morrison gets given the JLA gig. And they say, we want you to basically restart, revive the whole process. The Justice League needs to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best storyline runs of all time in comic books.
And he fucking knocks it out of the park.
Oh, he absolutely destroys it. He's also doing Aztec at the same time, which is still funny, but we're not going to get into that.
I forgot about Aztec.
Fucking Aztec. But he's absolutely killing it. So the idea is they're just going to do a complete revival. JLA comes back, just the world's 7 top heroes. And it's just 7. And so obviously, once you get through the 7... I don't think there's room for Ray.
What? But from the image I've seen and what you're saying, he could absolutely have a spot on that team.
He could, but if you get to Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, like, it's pretty strong, like, so far.
It's pretty good. And then Green Arrow on there, of course.
You go, of course. And Anarchy. And Aztec pops up. No, but like, I think it's something that when that happened, they kind of had to remove everyone who had already been thrown in the mid-90s. This is like, no, we're restarting again. So he becomes a reserve member of the league. And this is when he starts getting thrown team to team, because he catches the attention of the Young Justice team, who are on their way to a concert. But when they're on the tram going to a concert, and a kid falls off the tram and is falling to his death, and Ray comes along and catches him, swoops into the air, catches the kid, and puts him back. They immediately are like, he seems like a cool guy, so they immediately go over and offer him Young Justice membership. And he obviously is like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. He's been in several teams at this point. And he then nominates himself immediately for team leader.
Well, he is his father's son after all, so... He's
also a bit older than everyone. He's like 19 or 20 and everyone else is like 15. So he's like, well, I'm the old guy. You gotta try. And I was part of the Justice League.
I was literally on the main superhero team.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, Robin and Wonder Girl and Superboy are all in the team, so they're like, we'll put it to a vote, and Wonder Girl wins. So he gets basically kind of moved on, right? But very soon after that, the death of Donna Troy happens within the Young Justice team. Incredibly sad storyline where they're all devastated, and Ray's like, I didn't really know her, but that's super sad, so I'm going to move on.
Well, this seems like a lot, so off I go.
And so far, I think I also, in this report, have skipped at least 3 other teams where he joins and then leaves upon
Because
someone dying.
Was that, like... Is that ever addressed in character, or
I think it's more outside baseball if we're going to look at this, because what happens is the teams are dying. So say like the sales of the comic books are dying with certain teams,
Right.
then they do an influx of all these new characters, and Ray just so happens to be sitting around. They throw him in, and the sales don't really go up, and then they're like, oh, someone's dead, and the team's disbanded. And that happens like 3 or 4 times.
But Ray doesn't have anywhere to go back to, so it's whatever is the next team that
so he just keeps moving on. He just keeps moving. He's in the Justice League, he's out of the Justice League, he's in the Justice, and he's in the Young Justice, he's out with them. He's in the Freedom Fighters at one stage, he's out with them. The Task Force, he's out with them. It's constant movement. Because obviously his old solo run ends in like 96. So where we finish is that in the Freedom Fighters, before Infinite Crisis, he returns to fighting in a new costume with the Freedom Fighters, and Ray is kind of like he's carrying on his father's moniker because he was fighting in the Freedom Fighters, and it's like a cool round circle that like he's now fighting in the new modern Freedom Fighters.
Does he like his dad though? Like, is he?
They have some now. See, the problem now is this is not New 52. But like prior to that, they had some kind of like they went to a baseball game together once, I remember. And like they have a few scenes, but I don't think he ever fully forgives him. But he's like, oh, I'll talk to you.
I'll put up with you. Like
New 52 to Ray is really cool because he's actually openly gay in the storylines, which is always really cool. When they get one of them to come out. And so that's in the New 52. That was not touched on previous to that. But it's just nice to see. I just said I'd mention it.
It's good representation.
And so in terms of powers and abilities, Shaun, this is where we are going to get into it. So think of a power, right? So the Ray absorbs, stores and processes light. He uses the energy to fly and creates bursts of coherent radiation. His energy capacity is virtually limitless.
That's already too much.
He's capable of manipulating light externally to basically make himself invisible. And as he can make himself and anything around him invisible if he wants, because he can bend the light around it.
Okay, so he's Sunspot, he's Invisible Woman, and then what else? He can
convert his body. Oh, you're gonna like this. He's also Firestorm, or not Firestorm. What's
Pyro?
Johnny from Fantastic Four.
Human Torch.
Human Torch. I was thinking Firestorm, but that was the DC version. He can convert his body completely into light energy, and no physical harm can come to him in this form. He can also just be on fire if he wants. This process could also be used to reset damage that he's already sustained in his other form.
Oh, that's busted. He can just set himself on fire and be grand.
As pure energy, he can travel at the speed of light and cross space unassisted. He's also one of the most skilled programmers in all of the DC universe, and this is due to his long time alone as a child. He found a lot of time to work on computers.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
To put them in a row: light absorption, light processing, flight, light rays, hard light constructs. He can make constructs with light. Illusions, he can create illusions of visibility, light energy conversion, light energy manipulation, light energy healing.
He's Mysterio, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Sunspot.
If you just I think a better way to he's just a god. He's just unkillable.
How does he lose any fight?
He doesn't. He never does.
He is. How is he not on the Justice League?
I mean, he's clearly should be, but it's just that he never took off as a character, so they just never put him on there. But he's just lying around.
The main power in the Justice League is popularity.
So I mean, like, yeah, he's got the super speed, super flight. He can, he's basically turned himself invisible. You can't hurt him. He can't be hurt. I don't think he can die. He can turn himself invisible and then travel at super speed and kill anyone he wants.
And he can make fake versions of himself, so you attack those instead of him.
Yes.
Right. Any weaknesses?
No.
The colour
black is slightly more resistant to his powers than other colours.
But not fully resistant.
No. Like, you will still be killed. But you'll be killed slower.
Okay. I'll take killed slower.
Yeah.
So Black Suit Superman.
I think he takes Black Suit Superman.
I think he probably does.
I think he takes Superman only because, technically though, if he hits Superman with light, Superman becomes more powerful.
It is sunlight, essentially, isn't it, that he's hitting him?
Yeah. So I think it might fight to a draw.
That's insane, though.
Because he would just turn himself invisible and then just, like, super speed around the place. But I don't think either of them would be able to attack the other one. But
Superman could see him probably if he was invisible. He's got in. Superman would, I think, you could write Superman to win it easier.
Yeah, I don't think he has super strength. So Superman could technically punch him very, very hard.
Which he would. He's one to do.
He's one to do.
He'll break a neck.
He'll break a neck if he wants to. If he really wants. He'd pull out a gun, maybe.
I know, he didn't want to break the neck, to be fair.
He was crying at the time.
Did a big scream after him. Oh no, again.
So I didn't want to cover his powers, because if I just told you straight up, you'd be like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know how that got... Like, I know it's the 90s and everything was awesome and edgy, but... It seems like no one said stop to any of the writers.
Also, I'm going to say this sentence. He can absorb light, store it for later uses. Once his body absorbs sunlight, he can direct the energy to rearrange molecules in any form, matter or energy.
Oh, right. So he's also Molecule Man.
Yeah, so he could actually just take Superman apart by molecules.
That's... Now... But it's not even like there's the conceit of, but he's an idiot. He's quite a smart dude as well.
No, he's pretty good. No, he's pretty solid all around.
What's his flaws? What's his character's flaws even?
I think they wrote him to be angsty teen, and then they made him so powerful that he can't be angsty if he's 25 and a god.
Yeah. What have you to complain about?
You've there's nothing that could happen to you ever.
Yeah, you can't be harmed
in any way.
If we ever do another superhero ranking or bracket or something like that, he can't be on it.
We should bring him in.
We get one ringer.
We get one ringer, and it's Ray.
It's like bringing the Undertaker into WrestleMania.
The fucking dong goes off. It's the fucking Ray.
All the lights go out and he's just bright in the middle. He's
just on fire at the top of his fucking ramp.
It's just a man on fire.
Alright, Sean, I think that's it for my report on the Ray.
A very good report of a character I knew nothing about, Connor. Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Heroes for Hero or Zero. God, I'm bad at the outros this week. If you want to support the show, there's a Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Make sure to head over there, and any level of support you get the invite to that live hangout. And I think you can also subscribe as a free member, so you get notifications when we post and stuff like that. So if you want to do that, you'll also be on the hangout list. There's also a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Mean.
I shall see y'all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.